Yo, welcome back to another episode of Life Outside Atlanta podcast.
What we doing?
And all today, we doing the same thing, man. We listening to some game, and I'm gonna speak my opinion on it, and hopefully the people out there, once again, who is supposed to hit, is gonna hit. And shout out Bro Yourself.
Bro Yourself.
One of the greats, man.
Message from your ancestors tonight.
You have a lower form of channeling and you have a higher form of channeling.
Right.
The higher form of channeling is absolutely, well, let me talk about the lower form. The lower form of channeling is, the lowest form of it is, everybody gets a channel. That's a fact. We all get channels. We come up with these creative ideas, these music ideas, art ideas. We're channeling that stuff down from the astral world. We're literally opening our consciousness up to receive something. And some people got to smoke to do it. Some people got to maybe walk outside in nature to do it. However you got to do it to open your mind up to get that. That's how people do it. That's a low.
It's a bunch of ways you can meditate. Like you say, you can go outside. Possibly if you in some grass, something, take your shoes off, ground with earth. You can sun gaze, look at the sun. I say between early sunrise. Don't wait too late. And just gaze at it, and manifest. You pull down what you want to pull down. But what he's saying, you can't operate in the negative.
Peace.
That's why in any negative situation, find the positive.
It's a reason you going through it.
I always remember that.
A form of channeling where we come with ideas because nobody knows what they're going to think about in 5 minutes from now. That lets you know that your thoughts don't come from you. They come from your higher self. You can call that you. That is you, but they come from your higher self. It's not coming from your physical self. Your brain doesn't come with these thoughts. Now, the higher version of channeling is absolutely a deity or some type of entity coming inside your body and possessing you to a certain extent. I don't like to call it possession. We can say avatar, like in your avatar state. Whatever god you like to line up with, maybe you have a bunch of Egyptian deities in your house and you want to have the altar set up. And maybe Oshun or Isis want to come to you that night, or Osiris. You know what I'm saying? You've been working with Osiris real heavy, and Osiris gives you this vision or this idea, right? Now, it's very important. I want to say this, that everybody can channel. That's a fact. We can even channel on higher levels. The problem is negative energy, right? Negative energy dilutes the channel, right? So that's why it's very important that we constantly working on our spirituality. We're constantly lining ourselves up with the higher spirits. And most importantly, staying positive all day. I know how it is. We live in a world, somebody cuts you off, you know what I'm saying? Your cousin come over talking crazy. And I know, right? I know. But at the same time, we got to keep that high vibration, and that's going to leave us open to the channel. Now, I want to tell a story real quick. I remember years ago, right? This is years ago. This is when I first started really waking up spiritually, right? I remember I was, trying to convince my family that spirituality is real. You know what I'm saying? And that's a mistake that a lot of young people and people just coming to spirituality make. Oh, yeah, that. And of course, my family wrote it off, right? And I'm not mad at them for that. I expect them to do that now. But they wrote it off, right? And I was so upset about that. I'm like, yo, don't they know that this is real and aliens are real? And, so.
I'm going to tell you what made me take a peek. On that road they say you're not supposed to walk down.
Yeah, they call it evil.
You know what I'm saying? That darkness, whatever you want to call it. I say it was around.
Really shouldn't even be saying that, but fuck it.
Around the time my mama got sick. It was rough, man. Strong lady. But it just certain things I witnessed and I seen that I had a lot of questions about.
That I feel religion couldn't answer.
But to be honest, I'm glad I was able to witness certain things because it shaped me into the man I am today. But don't pay me no attention. Just know I brought that knowledge back to the village. Believe it.
I am my ancestors.
They didn't want to hear none of that. So I remember this is the first time I heard the spirit speak to me. Now, this whole time, Brother Yosef was going heavy on the altar work. I was doing my meditations. I was practicing positivity. I was just drinking a lot of trace mineral drops to open my third eye. I was doing all this stuff. And for the first time, I heard a voice say, Joseph. Why are you constantly trying to prove it to your family? You need to prove it to yourself. Prove to yourself that this stuff is real. And man, that is exactly what I need to hear. Because once I started listening to that and doing that, my whole spiritual game just changed. I evolved leaps and bounds. Stop trying to convince people that spirituality is real. And I start opening myself up more to the spirit. Instead of giving my energy to my family, I started giving my energy to my higher self. And that constantly taught me how to hear my higher self. And of course, when we're in meditation, we hear all this chatter, right? Our minds going all different places. But with the right frequency, right? Knowing how to tune in, being on the positive vibration, knowing what deities you work with and stuff like that. Because we're just talking about a higher form of consciousness. That's all we're talking about. But a lot of times all the time, in my belief, that higher form of consciousness is you, right? Is you. You just got to know how to tune up with it. They're not coming into a body that's super negative. They're not doing that.
Man, if that ain't a cheat code right there, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all don't understand this shit, man.
The guy's not up there fighting and uncles and, fist fighting. They're not doing all that stuff. They're deities. They have a certain level of morality from as far as what I experienced with them. And they just not going to go for the lower mundane human stuff. So you have.
Ooh-wee. Man, do y'all understand what that man's saying?
Yeah, the old folk might call it magic or evil. Your ancestors would call it common sense. If you got the ability to tap in with a God, your higher self.
Just by fine-tuning your own life.
The right frequency.
And the things you choose to let into it.
Yeah, you listen to everybody but yourself. Make it make sense. All you gotta do is get off the scene. You have the ability to manipulate this reality.
Like, stop playing with me, man.
I am my ancestors.
You have to keep your energy and your vibration on a certain level to even obtain this channel from these higher deities. But be careful with negativity, because that's what dilutes it. So as soon as it comes down, we got to pay the bills. My cousin cussed me out. I'm mad at her. You know what I'm saying? Such and such happened. And all this stuff dilutes the channel that's coming down.
Most of the time, the low vibration is going to come from somebody that's close, especially when you're off the scene. That's the only way they can try to get you.